Let me unmute him. What's his name?
Yeah, unmute him. Let's give him
Jang.
Oh, yeah, he was butting in. All right, here we go.
Hello. I'd like to hear your opinion. Like, why do you guys believe that the Earth is not round? I'm just really curious. Sorry for laughing earlier. I just didn't hear this perspective.
Didn't you just hear anything that was said over the last 30 minutes?
No, I didn't really tune in. I was busy doing something else. I just heard like some things about the Chinese space.
He was in the chat, bro. He was in the chat. How you ain't hear nothing?
I was talking to my friend as well. I was multitasking in this VC and then talking to my friend in DMs.
So besides pictures from space, bro, what's your best evidence that it's round?
Do you know the phenomenon called gravity and inertia?
What about
I've heard of it.
If the Earth wasn't round, right? If it wasn't a sphere, where the hell do you think the water would go? Like how the hell would the water on the Earth, like the oceans, like stay there? Like where would it go?
You got a picture of a disc in space still, dude.
How does water stay in your cup?
It stays into the top because it's held in, but in space, like water is like it floats everywhere because gravity. There's like no gravity, and that's why when you drop something on Earth, it falls to the ground because of gravity, because everything is centered around the core in the center of the Earth where the magnetic fields are.
Right. You haven't validated gravity yet. You just said.
Just let me ask you seriously: do you think we've never heard any of that before?
I'm genuinely curious. Like, if you don't think the Earth is round, what do you think the Earth is? Then I'm curious.
No, I want to. Like, go ahead, Joe.
I'd say, okay. You saying a whole bunch of stuff about gravity.
Yeah, gravity.
You are yet to verify what gravity is. What's gravity?
Gravity is the force that makes everything on Earth makes people not float away. Like when you drop something, it hits the floor. When you swim, buoyancy, everything has to do with gravity, because gravity holds everything on this Earth together. It doesn't make everything fall away. Because if there's no gravity, we'd all be floating out into outer space. We wouldn't be on the ground walking.
Great. So how is you going to prove that? Because you're saying gravity is a force.
Do you want me to?
No,
there's lots of things to prove it.
I could say no, it's not. So you're saying gravity? Where do we experience gravity? Where do we see it?
Like everywhere. So when we walk outside, when you drive a car, when you go on an airplane, everything's related to gravity on the Earth. That's why.
Okay, you're just naming a bunch of stuff. You're just saying airplanes. We go outside. So if I go outside,
I would send you the Wikipedia article. I would send you the Wikipedia article, and I would send you some science articles.
I know. I want to know if you know what it is, not Wikipedia. I know what Wikipedia say, and it's none of the things that you're talking about. You're just naming a bunch of stuff. What is gravity?
Gravity is the motion that keeps everything the way it is, in orbits and everything. You know how the Earth orbits everything, and how we as human beings and we as organisms, we don't float away from the planet, and how the planet doesn't collapse in itself because of gravity.
Have you ever experienced any orbits? Where did you see that?
Orbits. Tell me about orbits. How do you think tides are formed? How do you think when you go to a beach at nighttime, the water level is really high?
I want you to understand, this is your paradigm, sir. You're just naming a bunch of stuff. It should be very simple. You said gravity is when I walk outside. When I walk outside and do what? Why are you all the way in space? Somewhere that you never been.
Gravity holds you down. Okay, take a pencil, take anything, drop it, just drop it. It'll fall to the ground.
So gravity is the cause of things falling.
It's the things that gravity basically makes you stand up, makes you be able to walk without
it makes me stand up. Gravity makes me stand up.
Yes, gravity makes you stand up. Because if there wasn't any gravity, you'd be floating away you're in the ocean, or you're in a swimming pool or something.
No, that's buoyancy. But gravity is making me stand up, and it's making me fall down at the same time.
Yes.
Right.
Because
gravity is
if you jump, you'll fall down.
Right. So is science proving gravity? Is that science?
Yeah, there's lots of science to prove gravity. If you searched it up instead of
Okay, well let's put this in the logic of a hypothesis. Right?
Are you conspiracy theorist? I'm just curious. Are you a conspiracy?
No. You making a claim. I'm not the one that's making claims that I'm not seeing. You're making that claim. So let's put it in the logical reasoning of science. You're saying gravity is what's making things fall down. So making things fall down will be the dependable variable. That's the natural phenomenon that you're experiencing, right?
Yeah.
Right. What will be the independent variable? The thing that you would manipulate to see if gravity is the cause of things falling down.
The independent variable is like what do you mean by that? Could you please explain?
Bro,
You said
he's not ready for this, man. He's not ready for this.
You said science proves gravity, right?
Yes, science proves gravity. There's lots of
so you should know. Okay, so you should know whether or not gravity is a dependable variable, right, which is the natural phenomenon that we observing, or is gravity then, or what is the independent variable that you will be able to manipulate to see if gravity is actually the cause of things falling down.
Yourself is the independent variable because you have to do something for gravity, to experience gravity or to experience like motion.
Myself is the independent variable. So humans.
Yes, you can basically yes. I'm trying to say is for gravity, right? You can change how gravity interacts. So, for example, if you jump, you'll fall, you'll reach the ground. If you swim,
listen, dude. If you're saying that humans is the independent variable, and that's how you're going to make your predictions, right? You're saying humans is the cause of gravity, which means you're saying that human beings, is making everything fall down in orbits. I don't think humans is doing that, sir.
What do you mean? I did not say
Jang, how about this? Jang, do you agree that things falling is the observation that we're having, right? We observe,
Yes.
All right. So the question is, what is causing this observation, this effect? What's causing it? What's the cause of gravity?
Right, because right now you're saying humans are.
The cause of gravity is force, not just humans, anything, even a rock, even like a ball or anything. If you drop
everything.
Remember,
let me say like this.
He don't need no help. He need to know that he don't know what he's talking about. Remember, the force is gravity in itself. That's the natural phenomenon that you're observing. We're trying to see what is the cause of that force. What would be the independent variable that you would be manipulating to point out whether or not gravity is a force to begin with that you haven't identified yet. If gravity is a force to begin with, and you know what is the natural cause for it to be there. Organically, not humans, because that would be synthetic.
Gravity. Okay, for gravity, what about the curvature of space and time? What do you mean?
So you don't know. So you don't have any scientific validity of this, right?
So are you denying that gravity exists?
No. There is nothing to deny. You don't have any scientific proof of this natural phenomenon that you're claiming exists. You don't even have any observation that you could basically tell me about, right?
The natural phenomenon is the cause, bro. Joe, you're getting confused too, man.
No, I'm not.
Natural phenomenon
will be something that naturally always occurs.
Just let it happen, man.
Natural phenomenon will be something that always occur, which he's saying is a force, which is gravity, should be gravity in itself.
Okay, explain how the planets orbit.
Wait a minute. An independent variable is something that causes the force. It should be something that should be able to manipulate. So what is the cause of gravity? I guess you're going to say humans again. What the other guy
cause of gravity is okay. For example, you know how everything planets, right? Planets, the sun, the orbit, how the Earth orbits the sun, right, in the solar system. You know how planets have a large center of mass, right? And you know how space is it's a plane, right? And how different planets affect the space the space plane in the solar system, which means that since the planets are so heavy, they'll basically move around in an orbit, and which proves gravity because everything has weight, right? Everything has weight. Everything's affected by everything else. Everything is not independent. You can't just say, oh, gravity will work by itself. No, gravity is influenced by other things around it, in the surroundings. You can't just say, oh, gravity is not real because you can't see with your own eyes. Well, how the hell are we still? How the hell are we here? How?
I'm just letting him talk. Yeah, he's just waffling on. He's yet to give me any type of scientific experiment. So am I confused, percent sign, or is he confused? Because I asked him to show me what gravity is on Earth, and he's still talking about orbits and stuff.
No. I mean, like, if we're steel man him, we could say that he's basically trying to appeal to mass attracting mass. But you're on point
Bro
for
doesn't know what gravity means.
Wait 1 second, bro. You're on point for most things except you. At one point, you said where you like there's no natural phenomenon. And
No,
that's
he's
just,
saying that there is not. He's saying that the independent variable was
He
human.
dropped. He dropped, dude. Or no, he's still here.
He's still here.
Okay.
I want him to.
Jang, you have a piece of wood. Jang, you got a piece of wood.
I want him to understand that he really
wood that falls in the air.
Great. But the
It's
only thing I want him
spontaneous
to.
force of attraction between different things in the surroundings. That's what gravity is.
Okay, you got a piece of wood that falls in air, okay, but it floats in water. What happened to the gravity then when it floats?
When it floats in the water, I don't know. Maybe the H2O molecules are preventing gravity from acting upon it. Kind of how it works, buddy. Did you really just ask why something falls in air and why something floats in water? Are you being fucking serious?
Gravity was prevented.
That was the dumbest shit I have ever fucking heard in my life.
You said gravity was prevented.
Because you guys
resistance.
Okay, check this out.
The fact that this needs to be explained to you is fucking ridiculous.
It doesn't need to be explained. Hold on, Joe.
It's not around.
It was a rhetorical question, dumb fuck.
No, he's dead serious. That's how you fucking flat earthers are. You guys are retards.
Yeah, that's a great argument.
Literally. Like,
listen, it's a rhetorical question.
You couldn't figure out the difference between your head and your asshole.
Hold on.
Oh my God, here we go.
Hold on. If he just tells them what an independent variable is, and then we can go from there.
Typical globe earther.
And Yo's a fucking straight up fat piece of shit. Sits on Discord and argues about the shape of the earth all fucking day.
Yeah, we can be able to
my
get it out.
physical appearance is literally apex. Like your mom, I would take your mom.
Ask stupid questions when stupid.
And
why do you guys think you won yours? Bye.
Yeah, he
why do you guys think the Earth's flat? Tell me. Just tell me. Why do you guys don't think the Earth is round? I'm so curious.
Because it measures that way.
Because what do you say? Because it looks that way?
It measures as a flat surface. We use it, measure flat, practically use it as flat.
Okay, so your full proof has been scientifically disproven by multiple sources. If you like videos of rockets going to space with a GoPro camera, then be my guest.
It seems like you just make multiple claims that you cannot back
I'm not
up.
making multiple claims. I'm stating pure fact, and you're being too ignorant to accept it.
Why every time I try to pin you down to basically prove or validate anything that you're saying, you're not validating it. You go waffle on about nonsense about space. And waffle on about nonsense about humans as being the cause or an independent variable for gravity, or waffle on about nonsense about airplanes, or waffle on about nonsense about gravity make you stand up. You had absolutely no clue of what you're talking about. You can't even put it in the actual scientific hypothesis, but you want to claim science.
I can't. But what the other guy said was right. You guys can't when it comes to
the other guy clearly pointed out you don't know what you're talking about.
What do you
Jang,
say?
listen, I agree with you, Jang. Gravity exists, okay? This downward acceleration that we see, depending on the density of the object, exists. Wood falls in air because it's more dense in the air, but it floats in water because it's less dense than the water. This is a thing. This is an observation that exists, a naturally occurring phenomenon, whatever you want to call it, right? But the question is, what is the cause of it, okay? What is the cause? It's possible that this is just like the second law of thermodynamics or any laws of the world. You just have no cause. It's like that's the way it was created. That's the way that God made it. For instance, right? We don't know what the cause of the law of conservation and momentum is. We don't know the cause of the second law of thermodynamics. So what if we were just to say that this is the density of things falling or rising, depending on their medium. What if that's just a law of the universe? Where's your proof that there's a cause to it?
You're just talking about relative density?
That's what gravity is, bro.
That's what you're explaining? No, they call that specific gravity, but it's just basically relative density.
That's not what specific gravity is.
Okay.
Gravity is the force. It's like a force of attraction between all different matters of the universe. That's what gravity is.
That's a cool story, bro, but can you prove it?
Right.
What's the proof? Okay, are you guys
swine, man? He thought gravity was weight. Okay, like
are you guys
I don't know
being
why
fucking
you're
serious?
still dealing with this guy.
You guys
Yeah,
are
Yeah, he said orbits are caused by the heaviness of the planets, dude. You're a sped.
You're
No,
giving us
I'm
space
explaining-
stories here, dude. How about some real proof, man?
Some real proof. Go fucking search it up yourself. Holy shit.
We have.
Don't
We
you
can't
think we
find it,
did?
dude.
Oh yeah?
Yeah.
You said GoPro on a rocket, bro? Seriously?
Yeah, I said go watch like a fucking video if you want to see if the Earth is round, bro. I was speaking about something you said
Bro, we
earlier.
watch TV
Show
all
me
the
the
time,
video.
man.
Show me the video where the straight horizon, this horizontal horizon, when we're at the beach or whatever. Show me the video where you have a camera fixed on that horizon, and as this shuttle launches, that straight line slowly turns into the entirety of the globe. Give me that video, that time lapse.
Do you guys know something about like
A percentage, you was absolutely wrong. I was absolutely right, as like always. Yes, it was specific gravity you was talking about, which they call relative density, where gravity is not actually needed. Why you people just say you wrong for no reason, and I know I'm right.
Specific gravity is kind of a niche
Specific
term.
gravity and relative density is the same thing, sir. It's basically an object more dense than its medium, therefore it go down.
And that's what gravity is, bro. That's what this observed effect that we see, where things that are heavier than the medium fall, and other things that are lighter than the medium rise. That's gravity.
So you only explaining basically relative density. That's all you explaining. You're not.
It's gravity, bro.
You're not explaining mass attracting mass. You're not explaining.
That's not gravity. That's not. You know little g? Do you know what little g is, Joe?
You're not explaining any of that. The only thing that you can explain.
Look, specific gravity is when they take an object and they weigh it in water, and then they weigh it in air, and they have a ratio, and that's the specific gravity of the object. They use that as a standard, the same way we use index of refraction as a standard, where you compare the speed of light in vacuum versus everything else. So it's just a comparative measure of the relative density objects, but it's fixed relative to water.
Bro, I don't even think you know what gravity means, bro. I think you're talking about fucking buoyancy, bro.
Buoyancy is part of gravity, bro. Like, you need to look up the equation.
Bro, buoyancy is it's a physics, bro.
Yo, how about this? How about read out the equation for buoyancy?
Buoyancy, the equation for buoyancy? Let me find it. Yeah,
we've been at this a long time.
The equation for buoyancy is buoyant force is equal to the negative fluid density and the acceleration due to gravity times volume, the volume of the fluid.
Thanks.
I just don't.
But that's not fucking gravity, bro. You just described buoyancy. Gravity is not just buoyancy alone. There's multiple different aspects of gravity. Gravity is not one thing. What I said before about the planets and being in orbit is also fucking gravity. Everything.
No. You see, you're confusing between the effect and the cause. There's cause and effect. They're two different things, okay? The thing that we see, things falling, things rising, I'll give you that. That's gravity, right? Gravity, and if it's rising, we could say levity or buoyancy or whatever you want to say, right? But the cause of that is in question. You stop using the same word for both the cause and the effect.
That's just buoyancy and density. Things that's more dense than a medium. You keep explaining the exact same thing that we told you what it was. And I don't understand why you're doing that. Now, even if you want to say that is gravity, gravity do have a definition, right? And it do have something that you guys claim with gravity. It's how you guys get orbit. So actually, Jang is correct to bring all of that stuff up. We only asking Jang and you to validate that with the science that you guys claim you have.
I'm going to tell you, Reg Joe, since, antiquity until now, the term that they use for things falling is gravity, okay? What they're trying to do with the heliocentric thing, like these past 100 years or so, they're trying to hijack that and morph it into the cause as well. They're trying to say mass attracting mass is gravity, or bending of space-time is gravity, right? They do this, like, equivocation fallacy and try to, like, hijack the term. We shouldn't let them. We should say, no, gravity is the effect that we observe of things falling, and buoyancy or levity, whatever you want to call it, is things rising. But the cause of that is not gravity.
That's the only thing you're explaining.
Relative density is gravity, bro. It's gravity and levity together.
Or you could just
so if you want to call it the law of gravity or the law of relative density, it doesn't really matter. The point is, that's the effect that we observe, and the cause of which, a cause of that is.
Well, it's basically, I mean, I don't understand on why wouldn't you just call it for what it was already being called. It's basically explaining that things that's more dense than this common medium will go down. Things that is less dense usually go up. Because you will be dealing with the same problem that most people deal with whenever somebody hold somebody to task about gravity, because they will bring up actually gas. Gas always seems to rise up. Unless you're going to say that gravity has some type of downward bias, which that's what most people claim. Just like what your friend down there was just trying to claim. But the point of the matter is, if you're going to make all of these claims, and I hear what you're saying, it sounds like what you're saying, whenever people make all of these claims about gravity being the cause of orbits and things that's going on in the sky and all of that, they just say gravity, they just put gravity to it. Understand, it sounds like what you're saying, it sounds like you're explaining my point when you're saying that when you're making claims that you cannot validate with any actual evidence that's direct, right, then you shouldn't be making those claims. You should just be basically claiming the things that you can actually prove or validate, using the metric that you said that you validated it with, such as science.
Okay, man. Then explain the intertwine between physics and gravity. So are you basically denying science? Are you basically saying that are you basically saying that things don't have a weight? Because what you're saying is absurd.
No. I'm saying you making scientific claims that you're not validating with the scientific method.
I literally offered you proof. I literally said go on the internet and search up something basic about gravity. Like search up.
Telling me to go on the internet. That's what you're telling me to do. Me going on the internet to validate your claim that you presented to me.
I'm not trying to do anything. I'm just trying to tell you basic fact, and you're too brainwashed, or you're too.
Saying go on the internet isn't telling you basic facts. That's just you.
It's not basic fact. I'm trying to offer you a fucking I'm trying to offer you like a point of view. I'm trying to fucking tell you.
How about this? You go on it.
Your heads are so stuck up your ass. You guys couldn't even tell the difference.
Slow down, man. Slow down, dude.
I'm not trying to call you no names, man. I'm just saying that. How about this? How about you go on the internet and come back and you bring the science.
It's not our job to go find. Yeah, it's not our job to go find your evidence, dude. It's your job.
Yeah,
go find your evidence and come back.
You said to him that you got science for it, so he took you through the method for you to prove your claim.
So why should I take you guys seriously when you guys don't even think the Earth is round?
You don't have to take it seriously. You're the one who said it. You said that you have scientific evidence for what you are claiming. He's took you through the scientific method, and you failed to provide.
Right.
Okay.
So how's that his fault?
Okay. So I'm going to send you guys some proof. Okay. Since you guys are too stuck up with your own ideas, and you guys are so lost in delusions.
Get on with it, brother.
Okay. I only waited for 5 years for this proof, so go ahead.
Okay, give me a second.
Bugger off. Go get your proof.
Hey, everyone that comes in here, they're the new guy, and they're gonna teach us all about it, right? We haven't fucking heard this before, man. Fuck me.
Yeah, they're gonna teach you about it by telling you to go on the internet. They're brilliant.
You go find it yourself.
He doesn't even know his own belief, dude. We've been listening to him butcher it for like 20 minutes now.
No, Indigo, he said gravity makes you stand up, sir. That's totally accurate.
He does everything, man. He pretty much said gravity does everything. It's the everything. It does makes things go sideways, make things go up, make things go down, makes us stand up. Why wouldn't water fall off, man? Like, what's holding the water? We'd float away, bro. Like, we'd float away.
I can't wait to see this.
Very manipulating people to cause gravity. Weird.
Okay, I'm gonna send you some equations because you guys obviously don't know.
I'll send no more science equations now.
Yo, Snoop, can you send it, bro? I don't have perms to the server.
So let me ask you, even if you presented an equation, wouldn't you need an experiment to validate the equation?
Experiment? There's lots of experiments.
Okay, so give us the experiment that validates the equation.
Okay.
And it better be F equals G times M1, M2 divided by R squared.
E equals mc squared.
No, F being force equals the gravitational constant times mass 1 times mass 2 divided by R squared.
Okay.
Indigo, did you just help him out and give him the actual thing to go to?
Yeah, I want him to look for an experiment and not find it, and then go, shit.
And you help him out by tasking him with an impossible task. That's how he helped him.
You got all your information from flatearth.com. Why the fuck would I believe you guys? You're literally flat earthers.
Oh man, your ad arms just don't help. Just bring your experiment, dude. Fuck, why do you gotta keep talking, man?
Is this what the American education was to you guys? This is what the American education.
What education system are you bending space time, dude? Is that what you're doing? You're bending space time? Show us that.
Since you guys are so stuck up.
Bend some space time for me, brother.
Dude, you're bent out of shape. Yo, Snoop.
What, dude?
I sent it in DM. Send it over.
I can't. I'm busy. I'm gaming.
Chest Clown, you're roboting a little bit. Chest Clown, can you hear me? You're roboting. Yeah, still roboting.
Get 3 bars, brother, and come back.
Yeah, you don't got no evidence. Let me tell you what just happened. You 4 losers thought y'all was going to come in here and bone rush this room and make fun of us and talk nonsense. Now we got y'all one-on-one, and each one of you don't have a clue what the hell y'all talking about.
Okay. Why? Okay. You guys are conspiracy theorists. I'm so convinced. Like, I don't believe you guys are actually being for real.
The only one that's mentioned the conspiracy is you.
Okay, you guys don't believe that.
What conspiracy did we talk about?
You guys don't even think the Earth is round. You guys think the Earth is...
Yeah, how is that a conspiracy?
Because it's been scientifically proven. If you fucking...
Yeah, you keep saying that. You just keep saying that. We're waiting for your evidence. Post it in the chat, please.
It should be real simple for you to fucking just prove us, dude.
Yo, Snoop, post it in the chat.
Am I?
Are we conspiracy theorists because you can't post in the chat? Is that it?
No, I'm just putting to ChatGPT.
Dude's still talking in the background, brother. You're all broke up. Nobody can hear a word you're saying, man.
I'm saying in the chat since you guys don't know.
Yo, ChatGPT isn't going to save you, dude. Ain't the first one to try this.
Put the ChatGPT.
Yeah. And brag about it.
Here. See?
Yeah, there's no experiment in that.
Meanwhile, the Earth is measured flat, navigated flat, aviated flat, and practically used as flat. So there's no globe involved anyway.
Right, I can't take you guys for real. I'm going to go.
Yeah, why would you want to substantiate claims with evidence, dude? That's
you guys are literally adults. You guys literally saying you're on fucking Discord and try to...
Yeah. No evidence, right?
That was a nice coke, man.
That wasn't a coke.
You run away and you want to get banned out of this channel because you got nothing, man.
What do you mean?
You have nothing. Do you understand those 3 words? You have nothing.
Let's go through his points one by one. Gravity.
He doesn't have any.
Oh, we've got his ChatGPT on the side here that he thinks somehow proves something. So let's have a look at point 1, Jang. Gravity pulls towards the center. Gravity is a force that pulls matter towards the center of mass. Okay, let's start there. So gravity is a force, is that right?
Yeah.
I mean, didn't Einstein say...
Well, I'm afraid that you're over 100 years out of date here because gravity being force was superseded by Einstein and general relativity over 100 years ago.
108 years ago.
Yeah, 108. Might be 109 now. We're in 2025.
Oh, wow. A little outdated, Jang.
Better update your ChatGPT, dude.
Yeah. Any response, Jang?
What do you mean outdated? Are you guys actually being for real?
Yeah, for real.
Bill, we actually think for real. According to Einstein, he actually think for real that pseudo force has been superseded by his general relativity.
How dare you say Einstein?
He's calling it a pseudo force now. That's what they call it. I think so.
In other words, a fake force. In other words, not a force.
Yeah,
you say Einstein, you're going to burn.
So, from Physics Libre texts, Newton's 2 crowning achievements, the law of motion and the law of gravitation that had reigned supreme since published in the Principia in 1687, were toppled from the throne by Einstein.
Einstein's a bitch and Newton's way better.
Oh, boy. Yep.
Was that Jang?
Oh, no, man. Einstein wore women's shoes and Newton played with dolls. I'd say it's a tie.
Yeah, they both bitches.
Yeah, and Einstein perished unable to rectify unified field theory, so there's that, too. So you have an incomplete general relativity. You've set physics back by your faith-based belief that's devoid of objective empiricism.
Oh no, he left.
He ran.
He left. That's disappointing.
Well, maybe he's going to get the experiment now. Gonna get the big guns.